next, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now it's Fields. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Fields. Forced out to his left. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Here's Fields. Targets and finds Reynolds once more. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10. 21-0 our score after 1. Here's 3rd and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And got his man complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air with McCarthy. Towards the end zone for Brown. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Buying time to his left.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Back to throw. McCarthy eluding the pressure right. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. Flushed out right. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
He'll find Reynolds over the middle. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Paul on a give up the middle. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's second down. Here's Fields.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw is Fields. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And the 13-year man puts it through. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
From the gun on 3rd down, McCarthy. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon, as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead is Hall.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll run with Hall.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
They snap it to Fields. And that's going to be incomplete.
Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy dancing to his left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
It's Nakobe Dean with a pick.
20. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. It's their quarterback with his 3rd touchdown and 18th on the year.
And the Jets continue to pull away here in this first half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll go again to Jones. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game. And
that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years, our team seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. 33 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
That's complete to Lazard. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now Fields.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
This complete to Corley. And he was able to shed one tackle, but could not get away from there.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Fields. Flush to his right. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on it. Touchdown! A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Jets' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
That's down the field for Jefferson.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
And the Jets are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
A handoff for Hall.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
Well, with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles,